This is a demonstration on how to complete the Word Project 4 for COMT 12,000. The first thing I'll recommend is in the book on page WD 203, either mark that with a pen or a paper clip or some way that you can get back to that, because it's easy to reference what the final product will look like throughout the creation. So I'm going to mark that and reference that quite a few times, and I'm going to go through the steps to create this project in small increments. So the separate videos will allow you to create different aspects of the project. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have a blank document opened up, and this is Word 2013. Word 2010 may work. It may be a little slightly different, but I'm going to do it in 2013 because that's what the book has us work in. And the first thing I'm going to do, and I'll explain why in a minute, but I'm going to hit enter a few times to leave some blank space at the top and actually at the bottom. If you want to leave your paragraph button on, show that or turn off, that's up to you. I'm going to leave it on because there's items in the book that reference the use of that, so I'm going to leave it on, even though sometimes it can be slightly distracting. So first part of the project involves creating the title page, and to start off on that is I'm actually going to start here in the middle, and you'll see why in a minute, and I'm going to type some text. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to format this text in quite a few ways to get it set up so that the title page at the beginning of the project looks correct. So the first thing I'm going to do before I actually start formatting text is I need to go under the Design tab, and I'm going to change my themes to Wisp. And what this does is this sets up a kind of a palette of colors and ideas you can use throughout your project. For this project specifically, the book references Wisp, but as you're doing other projects, experiment with different themes to see what options are available. Okay, you can see that the text automatically changed. For both of these, they have us change the font size to be 72 and the font style to be Britannic Bold. And I'm going to center these, and that's the that's the easy part. Before I get into the trickier part, I'm actually going to take a second and save this document. I'm actually going to save it on a USB drive I have specifically designed for this class. So I'm going to call this Paw Ridge. You can name the projects whatever you want, just when you submit them in Blackboard. Submit the correct document. So make sure you name it something you will remember. Alright, now the next part can be a little tricky. What they want us to do is highlight this first part of text, and I'm going to make sure I use the correct colors in the book just because I don't want to lie to you. And then I'm still under the Home tab. I'm going to click the border option here and go to border and shading. I want to set the color to be, I'm going to do the top one. The top one is going to be, I believe, this brown down here at the bottom. Where's the brown? We'll go with that one there, and the size will be 6, and we'll select box. Okay, we'll do the same thing for the one below. Slightly a little different. The border is going to be 6 also. This one I believe is olive green, and also box. So far so good. One problem may occur, and I'll actually show you how to fix that if it does happen. Next thing they want us to do is actually highlight this box and shade it with, click in here and shade this with why. Okay, I'm glad that happened. I'm gonna undo this a minute. When I highlight this area, I want to actually highlight it with the paragraph button. think that is a mistake I made on purpose. Just to show you now, when I go to fill this, it fills that area. Do the same thing down here when I highlight this. Use the border. Select olive in box. Okay. Now notice there's a gap between these two. The book mentions how to get rid of that, and the way to get rid of that gap is I'm going to click in the text area on the top portion, and one way to do, there's many ways to do this. I'm going to click here and go to remove space after paragraph. All right, that will bring those two together. The book mentions another option. I like to show different ways to do the same thing. Now, under page layout, this is where they also mentioned you can do the spacing. One thing you want to do here is notice there's extra space on the left and right part of the text here. You can actually come in here and you can remove the indent. And I'm not going to say eyeball this, but I'll tell you, I'm not one that's particular to go in and make sure that everything is lined up with a ruler. I don't take a ruler. If it looks appealing and looks good and accurate, we're in good shape. I guess the only other thing I forgot to do on this step was make this text down here brown under the home, and the text would be that brown. Okay, now something you may want to do too is turn your paragraph off and on occasion to see if it looks good. And at this point I'm going to save it again, and I'll stop at this point and continue on to the next video.